Hi, Jake.
George, nice to meet you.
And you, yes.
George, I was giving you details from Jim at AHA Viticulture. He said you're not with them anymore. What are you doing now?
No, that's right. Yeah, I was with them for, almost 5 years now during their planting program, which is probably why he told you to contact me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually your neighbour. I'm just a little bit further down managing juniper now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good spot.
So, that's good to hear. We've got a couple of hectares here to develop. We were hoping you could help us out with that.
Yeah, more than happy to. Yeah, definitely.
What sort of... We're thinking possibly Tempranillo and Fiano.
Nice,
That's good varieties.
Some of my favourites.
Have you worked with these before?
Yes, yeah, and actually we've got Tempranillo and Fiano just down the road too, so quite astute in how it's growing here. Yeah, I've also planted out a few people around the Willie Abrup area with both of those as well. So.
Well, I think the Fiano is pretty on trend with the youngsters at the moment.
Is that why you've picked it?
That's the main reason, yep. And also, being in Spain, I really fell in love with Tempranillo.
Yes, it's hard not to fall in love with it.
Yeah,
it's one of my favourite wines, actually.
Yes, I'm a big Fiano fan as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what, is it here that you want to put it in?
Yes, yeah. Just here, yeah.
So 2 hectares. What's the ground like? Do you have to do any groundwork or anything? I've noticed quite a few big boulders on my way in.
No, I think it's reasonably clear because of the previous agricultural work that was done on the field.
Oh, yeah.
We were thinking targets and yields. We wanted to sell the idea of a small batch, low intervention fun wines of high quality. Hoping for around 15 tonnes per hectare.
Of Tempranillo and Fiano?
Yeah.
That might be aiming just a tiny bit high.
Okay, that's
it's
what
sort of
the Lintondale vineyard said they got.
Oh, Lintondale. They do have a little bit more, but their quality's not as fantastic. They're just, they prune probably 12 a side, spur prune, so yeah, they would get about 12 to 15 tonne as well. They're 10 years old now. So your first, probably third year where you really start to get fruit, you're not going to be achieving that straight away.
Okay.
I would say maybe after 5 years you're going to be getting around 8 tonne per hectare if it's pruned well, and that has good quality then too.
Around 3 years, what would you expect?
Probably 5,
okay.
Yeah. It's really vigorous to grow, Tempranillo.
Yeah.
But as well, you're dry grown here, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So that it's going to be a little bit slower, especially if, I guess, you're going to have to hand water it unless you get some water up here.
Yep.
Which will just mean that it's not going to take off as quickly as like another site might do. Especially Lintondale, they pump a lot of water into it as well.
Okay.
Whereas if you're going for more small batch, better quality, you probably want to be looking at getting more like 8 tonne per hectare.
Okay.
So how are you for water?
Yep, at the moment we don't have enough, but we have planning permission and everything in place to expand our dam. And I should mention we're organic as well. So can't herbicide to clear the block.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Yeah, we're organic as well. So the last block we planted, we just had to rotary a huge area, and we did a bit of deep ripping just where the posts were going in, just to kind of break it all up. But there's plenty of other things we can do anyway.
Oh yeah, that's good to hear.
And we'll want to put in some really good cover crop and stuff anyway. Something really low as well that won't take over the young vines.
Okay.
But you don't really want to leave the soil bare, so I mean that's something we can work on after we've planned everything else.
Yep.
Have you thought about row orientation? Do you want it to go the exact same way as this? I'm assuming you're going to take out this fence and then...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea, do you think?
Yeah, and then if you keep the same spacing, it's much easier mechanically wise and for your staff when you're driving straight through. Yeah, it's a lot easier. So is that 2.5?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 2.5, and then vine spacing. I mean, you don't want to have them too close. You probably would keep it similar to this, say like 4 vines a panel.
Yep.
Yeah,
This seems
so
to
one
work pretty
every sort of 1 to 1.5 meters.
Mm-hmm.
They're so vigorous, so you need a lot of space for those massive bunches
Yep.
that Tempranillo has.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, Fiano is very similar with the size of bunches and how we can set it up.
Yep.
But Fiano, the other issue is in WA you can't get Fiano already grafted onto something else, and it doesn't grow very well here on its own roots. It really struggles. I've seen blocks that are just way back in comparison.
Oh, okay.
So potentially if you've got another area, I don't know, if you've got Semillon that you were going to maybe rip out down the bottom, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you could actually look at maybe grafting Fiano onto there instead, and then just have your full 2 hectares of Tempranillo up here.
Yeah.
And you could even, you know, keep it interesting and have 4 different clones of temp. And that way you've got a bit more of a story to tell your customer. You can do all your small batches of the individual clones.
Yep.
Might be a nice idea.
Yep, sounds good.
Is there any environmental issues or anything you have to pass through the Shire?
This was actually a Riesling back in the 90s, I think, as well. So all
it had Riesling in here.
Yeah, documentation and planning permits are still in place with the Shire.
To get this going?
Yeah, we're very thorough when it comes to creating good policies for ourselves as a business and for our staff. We do plan, do, check, act, as we want to ensure correct systems are in place and ensure our staff are well trained to produce a high quality, consistent product. Actually, I brought a handbook.
Oh.
Have a look at that.
Yeah, that's so good of you to think to bring it.
There you go.
Oh, so they get all of this, numbers, policies.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and all your safe operating procedures are in here as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you had these already in place. Oh, this is great. This is very thorough. I will say though, you're probably missing a few that you might need for this type of work.
Okay.
Because it's not a regular activity for your staff. Let's see, where's your appendix here? Oh yeah, lots of SOPs. Yeah, perhaps it might be worth, I can even send you some through to have a look at, but for post-ramming and some of those other, you know, one-off tasks that some of your staff might end up doing, you will have to write up another procedure for that. Yeah. And make sure you've got all the correct PPE, you know, hearing protection.
Yep.
Safety first.
Indeed, that's what I always say.
Yeah, thanks for letting me look at all of those procedures.
Oh, not at all.
And your policies. Yeah. What else do we need to think about? Probably your posts.
Yep. I've got quite a few of these older metal posts lying around.
Oh, these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, well you can probably, we can check the bottom and see how rusted they are. I will say though that Tempranillo, just because it is so heavy and vigorous, it falls down really easily, and you would capture all of the wind coming off the coast just over there. Those sort of big northerlies, especially in winter, the southwesterly, southeasterly through summer. So you could still use a couple of these as intermediate posts. But you're most likely going to have to look at putting some really big, heavy-duty treated pine posts in.
At the ends?
Yeah. Well, more than the ends. I'm thinking you'll have one of those, and then you could probably do 2 of these, and then another wooden one.
Yeah.
It will cost a little bit more, but, you know, it's going to keep everything upright at least. You don't
Yeah, we want to do it properly.
Domino through the block.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No. The other thing is, if you are looking at doing this anytime soon, you'll have to get your order in to Wavier by next month.
Oh yeah.
For young vines. They are the only guys that can do it in the area, at least in WA at the moment.
Okay.
But they have to get their order before pruning happens.
Yeah.
And they're quite strict actually, so definitely get that in. You're probably looking at what, 2,250 vines that you'll need.
Oh, okay.
For that amount of area.
Yep.
They charge about $7.50 per cutting, and it depends whether you callus it yourself or if they do it all for you and you get it as a rootling.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be the main thing. I'll look and I'll send you through everything that you need to be doing. I can draw up a plan for you in that area so you can see it on paper.
Yep.
You can let me know how you're going with the water situation.
Yep. I'll keep you updated with that.
And potentially send me through all of your planning permission information so I can just check it over. Make sure we're not missing anything.
Yep.
There's no waterways near here?
I don't think so, no.
No. I think the Williabruck Brook runs further down that way, so...
Okay.
I mean, you're organic anyway, so it's not as much of a big deal, but any runoff, obviously, we have to allow for that much distance around the block.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jake, let me put some stuff together. I'll write some things down, give you a chance to look it over, and you can call me with any questions. We can pop back out and have another look and go through a few more bits.
Yep.
Well, it's a pleasure to chat to you. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing.
Yep. Thanks very
Jake.
much.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Don't forget your dog over there.
Lily.